here. Welcome to the latest LEGO Hogwarts update. This obviously is not a Hogwarts, but I wanted to show you anyway. This is the Hogwarts as it is currently. And as you can see, the building that I showed you last time is a bit different. I actually ended up rebuilding the whole thing because, well, I'll get to that in a bit. Once again, it has been 2 weeks, and this time I actually had a bit more time to build during this period. And I'm really excited that I actually managed to finish what I was planning to do, with the exception of the roof over here, because I'm missing 12 of these 33 degrees slopes that I did order more than 2 weeks ago, more like 18 days ago, but still they're not here, and along with many other pieces that I actually ordered, but so I couldn't really show you the finished roof, but I'm pretty sure you get the idea even without these 12 pieces. Before we get into the full details of what I've done, once again, thank you for liking and subscribing. I will remind you once again about the Discord that I've made if you want to come and say hi, to give me some feedback more closely, or just to say a couple of words. It's all appreciated, and if you would like to join the community, I will be very, very happy. Anyway, so I've positioned the castle this way for now because we're not going to be going inside once again. Not really anything has changed. So let's talk about Filch's office, which I've positioned over here. And last time you saw this building, I had built it basically from the outside only. And it was, well, it was too big. That's what I found out in the end. It was just too big, even though the dimensions were kind of proper, the way that comparing to the Great Hall building and the courtyard, it was all fine, but it turns out that it was a bit too big, maybe too wide. So I decided to shrink it a little bit. Before, the diameter of this building was, I believe, 28 studs, and now it is 20 studs, which is pretty significant. But it turns out that actually it works out. So first, I'm going to talk to you about the windows. Now, unlike last time, we actually have the windows in the correct color. And the pattern is pretty much the same. We have 4 little windows on the lower section, and then 8 more on the upper section of the building, with obviously the distance being symmetrical once again. Now, I think the end result is fine. I really wanted to achieve this little minimal gap of the windows. Still not really sure if this color of reddish brown is the best, but the problem is we don't have these hinges in dark tan, which was my first choice ideally. And yeah, the hinges are the only problem because obviously they continue, and I have hidden them behind, well, these pieces over here. And over here I have hidden them, obviously only here you need to hide it, so I've placed this snow plate over here just to place some either grass or some leaves. And as you can see, I've done the same over here, but the one stud that is in a different color is hidden that way, and I think it's fine. In the end, these windows, I think, yeah, the idea is achieved. I thought about these cheese 1x2 cheese slopes to be inverted 180 degrees, but in the end I thought that the gap should be smaller, otherwise the gap is a bit kind of forward, and you don't get the feeling that you're kind of diving into the window, but rather the opposite. I think this one works a little bit better. Now the roof is the same design as I showed you before, but I am missing obviously 4, another 4, and another 4 just to complete it. So 12 of these 2x2s, but nothing really too special. You'll probably see it next time. It will just finish this whole pattern over here, and in the end it will be a little kind of hat, maybe just a little additional piece. Other than that, the same idea is followed. The diameter of the building compared to the roof, there is a stud sticking out from everywhere, no matter in which direction you look. So basically there is a little ring around the building, and I think that is fine. The roof is easily removable. For the time being, it's held only by these 2 and another 2. Now I tried to make them initially to place them opposite one another, but then it made it a little bit difficult to place the roof, and I really want just to be able to kind of place it in, pop it in, and not really spend 15 to 20 seconds to position the roof properly. So this way it actually is fine. It's not going anywhere. A little bit more about the exterior of the building before we delve in. Now we have the door over here, and ideally we would want the building either facing like this compared to the Great Hall with the door over here, or maybe like this with the door facing those windows over there. And the one thing I would like again to stress is that once you place the roof, the building still, even in these dimensions, looks a little bit short. And that is fine, because once this is all raised up and we have the cliffs underneath, there is going to be a little section that will be maybe this tall, but it will not be a full circle. It will be most likely half of the building, just this little chunk that goes underneath. So when you look from here, we have a taller section of the building on this side, because there will be a slope where here it will be reaching the ground, and here it will be merging into the cliffs. And that's something that I decided, basically, that we don't want to have a sloped floor. We will just fake it from the outside, and from the inside it will be over in this section, whatever it's inside. I thought that was better than to just have a sloped building with that just, if you want to take it out, it will be difficult to position and to keep straight if you want to show anything. So I think that's better, but we'll talk about that again once we get to build all the cliffs. When will that be? No idea, but I have a lot of panels already. So let's talk about the interior next. Now, I am pretty satisfied with the way the office turned out. I know some of you are not really sure whether Filch's office should be here. I mean, I'm not sure either. According to some sources, it could be in this building. According to some other sources, this is just a storage space, and Filch's office is, well, if you imagine the grand staircase being here, obviously in that direction behind it, there is the clock tower, and around there is where Filch's office is supposed to be, according to some sources again. But for the time being, I decided that it should be here. And if you remember, initially we had it over here in the old side building, which was fine, but obviously doesn't work anymore with this version of the castle. So we basically transferred everything that was in the old office with adding quite a few things. Now, let's start with this view. This is again the view that comes directly by entering the building, and this just this one room I decided, and not split it into different sections as I might have mentioned last time. So since we have a bit more space compared to the older version, well, it's just a little bit more space, not by much, maybe like a quarter more space. I made his desk a little bit bigger, and I made the shelving with the confiscated items a bit bigger too. I added some various tiles that just represent different things. They can be many things really, but obviously like a chessboard. I think this is a map from Jurassic Park, just a little Easter egg here reference. I don't know what this is over here, but it always reminded me of Dungeons and Dragons or something for some reason. I think there might be a tile with the map, the Marauders map, but I don't have it for the time being, even if there is. So for now, this is going to be the map and some other things. And I've added some like stairs where he could easily reach these items. I want to put them kind of high up, so they're kind of out of reach or difficult for students to get if they get into his office somehow. And then behind him, I planned to put some fireplace over there just behind him, but then again, it wouldn't make sense for fire to be coming out here, and then on top of the flame to be a shelf made of wood. It just felt weird. Not that it was the reason that stopped me, but I found that I should place some kind of some bottles over there, just to, not necessarily potions, just some kind of liquids with interesting bottles. And then over here on this wall we have this giant storage space, like a cupboard or maybe different shelves or compartments where he stores other things that are confiscated probably. Now I'm not completely sure if I'll keep it this way, but I've placed this tan plates to represent that the half open drawers are filled with maybe documents or something like that. I'm not really sure I like it. Maybe I want to change them into white, or maybe even add a couple of colors. I don't know if you get that feeling that this is what it's representing by you seeing this for the first time. So let me know. Other than that, I just try to make the cupboard a little bit like, fancy, kind of not completely static, and added some interesting shapes. And this thing for the time being is blank. And on the floor we have a stack of newspapers, a random bag, obviously the Mrs. Norris minifig from the latest set, Dumbledore's office. And over here we have a lot of things that he uses, like the shovel, something to sweep the floor with, something to catch something, I don't know, night butterflies maybe. And over here, another broom, another bag, piece of poo, which was actually included in the older version. You don't want to miss that. Random bucket, and obviously the chains that need to be present and the shackles that he kept to scare and intimidate the students. That whip, don't know if it fits, but if you have chains and shackles, why not have a whip? I mean, I had it. I found it. I even had forgotten that I had it. But I was checking my bags of various items and I saw, and I thought, well, why not include it? And this here, I initially wanted to put a painting there or something, but I decided against it because I wasn't completely sure what should be there maybe. So I just placed this thing randomly just to kind of remind me that I could put something there, but just haven't made up my mind exactly. And yeah, the desk is nothing special. Added just basically the items that were present in the old desk: a lighter, a goblet, and a ink with a feather to write. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, oh yeah, the floor. I ended up using these, well, as you can see, light bluish and dark bluish gray with a bit of a moss green. I just wanted to make this jumbo of patterns. I didn't want to make something tidy. It just wanted to represent that it's pretty kind of random and decayed, and even the floor is pretty damaged in a way with broken pieces and stuff. So I think it actually looks okay. Maybe I would like to use a bit more moss green here and there, but in the end, I think it does the job, and that pretty much is it. Now, over here, the walls do look a bit empty to me, the upper sections, but I didn't want to clutter the interior way too much at the same time, so I kind of left it like this for now. But in the end, if I decide that maybe the wall shouldn't be this bare, I can easily just put some more spiders maybe, or some other items hanging from the walls. I wanted the room to look simplistic and kind of fitting for the image I'm trying to paint, but at the same time, I didn't want it to be completely empty, you know. So that is pretty much it regarding this building. Now, I am not completely sure whether I am going to stick with this way the building is from the outside. Initially, I had a lot more roots sticking out, and I had tried to experiment with different colors of the kind of leaves and the all sorts of stuff that is coming around the building, but I decided this dark green would be best, and then added some leaves in yellow just to, well, this is not exactly yellow, is it? But I'm not a specialist according about the colors. I just wanted some contrast. I didn't want the brightish green for this. It just looked too bright, and I think this is a lot better. This is how the building should be, really, with the roof kind of touching over here, and basically the building reaching over here. Now, maybe I would like to slide it a bit more to the right. Not really sure. We'll have to see. And it all depends on how the rocks here are set up in the little alleyway with the grass. Now, part of me really wants to fix this, especially over here, but it really depends on how things will be set up here. I'm not really ready to raise all of this up right now, and I know if I do it, I'll probably have to redo most of it soon after, so that's why I kind of am holding back on it, but at the same time kind of itching to kind of make this, because I'm really sick of this green plate. It's been here for so long and it's bare, but we'll see. If I'll have to check my inventory and see if I can actually make some of it, and maybe we can actually play with it, because I'm planning for all this to be removable, so we'll have different sections that just slot in. Over here we'll have a lot of tiles and maybe a few plates, and we'll just slot it in, and it will kind of fit in like a cover once again, and even it will be removable whenever we have to move it. So that's really very important for me. I don't want everything to be really stuck, and whenever I have to move things, I have to waste a lot of time. So, but yeah, we'll see. Next time we will have the roof done, and we will see what else I'll be doing. I mean, I think, I don't know if I've shared this before, but the gates, I am planning to try to fix the gates. Right now we have them in these big door pieces that are covered with tiles just to add some kind of texture over here, but I don't really like that. I mean, they could be done better if they're done with bricks. So I've been experimenting, and still am experimenting, but hopefully maybe next time I'll be able to show you and we'll see the gates kind of pretty different. Ooh, maybe even in 2-3 colors, kind of contrasting, some dark brown, some reddish brown, maybe some black or some gray even. Just something that I thought that shouldn't be too expensive and too difficult to achieve and kind of improve. Part of me really wants to move on to other things, but there are two main reasons. First of all, as you may know, the Hogwarts Legacy game is coming soon, which will really help me to build the interior of the Grand Staircase. So I really don't want to start building it and set things in motion and then have to go back, because I'll get a better idea after seeing a lot of the inside of the castle. And also the other part is that whenever I look at the what I've done already, I mean, I get all these ideas to improve them. The gates, maybe the windows, the roof. I constantly like check things out, and I get these ideas when I'm just chilling, and I think that part of me thinks that it's just never going to be I can't just say this is done, we're not going to touch any of this anymore, we're moving to other things. But at the same time, that's kind of good, because it means that this can just keep on giving. This project just is, the fun never stops. It's not like I am displeased. I just see something, I like it, and then at some point I say, well, I like it, it's good, but if I do this, it will be better, in my opinion. So why not do it? So anyway, that's pretty much all I have for you today. I mean, I'm really glad that this building is now kind of done and fixed, even the interior. I was kind of thinking that maybe I will not be done with the interior, but I think it looks pretty nice and it's finished. Actually, starting it only a couple of days ago, the interior, I mean, I thought that I would not have enough time to kind of think about it, let it rest a little bit in my mind, and not be able to dedicate enough energy to it. But actually it panned out pretty well. So maybe just a few finishing touches here and there on the walls inside, but other than that, I think it looks good. So yeah, I mean, it's just very enjoyable to look at this castle once again. I will see you again in 10 to 14 days as usual. Thank you again for watching, and like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. Those of you that are giving me feedback on the comment section, really appreciate you. And I will see you very, very soon, guys. So bye for now.